Hello everybody, this is Brooke, aka Supernatural Summer 34, and today we are back at it with another speed build. Now, this build is another bungalow in the lower income portion of Willow Creek, and it's for a grandma. It's on the other 20 by 15 lot in this neighborhood, and it's very similar in style, but I did try to make it look somewhat distinct from the other one. Most notably, this one turned out to be quite the garish shade of green, but I actually think it looks rather nice. This build is like the opposite of the previous one in color scheme, by the way, because the other one was blue on the outside and green on the inside, whereas this one is green on the outside, blue on the inside. I do want all of my neighborhoods in my save file to be very cohesive because I don't enjoy many different looking builds on the same street. Like when I drive down the street where I live, you could see a colonial, then a classic suburban, then a bungalow, and then maybe a farmhouse. And then there's my house, which is honestly a huge mess, but at least it isn't right in everyone's face, seeing as we're kind of tucked away into the woods. The house I live in is quite possibly one of the ugliest houses I've ever seen, other than those people who had a picket fence surrounding their second floor balcony. I did not like that. But my house is not pretty, at least on the outside. I'm fairly certain it was built in the 80s, if I heard correctly, and that might explain it. The house itself is not bad. Like, the shape is nice, and there's a school feature where you can sit on the roof if you go out onto our side porch, and it's big too, but the house is not pretty. First of all, it has two different siding colors, which, while not a bad thing on its own, when it's combined with the fact that it has both stone and brick next to each other, it looks like it couldn't decide what kind of house it wanted to be. Like, the shape is kind of a mid-century modern style, but 2 stories, but then it had this really orangey wood tone combined with blue and beige siding, as well as red brick and gray stone occupying the same wall. Honestly, it's the house equivalent to graphic design is my passion. But onto the house. The outside is coming together and I do very similar landscaping to the other house in the neighborhood. I kept with the red brick theme because I thought those Get Famous columns were kind of a staple to the houses in this neighborhood. I think in order to make a house look like it belongs in a neighborhood, then it should have the same brick or stone color, the same roof texture, and the same windows, and for the outside of the house, similar landscaping as well as the same path leading to the street. I feel like suburban neighborhoods do tend to do things that way, and I absolutely love it when houses in a neighborhood look similar. I'm going to be living in a suburban house right near a school, hopefully, when I'm an adult. I don't plan my future too much, but of that I am nearly certain. There's only one other place I'd consider living, and that's in a farm town, but I'm also much more of a city girl. I have a friend who moved onto a farm, and she took to it like a duck to water, which came as quite a shock to me. She's honestly attached to her phone and very into Instagram. Actually, the first time my mother met her, she threw her phone. Like, she didn't just toss it onto a bed or something, she chucked it at the ground. Granted, it was grass, but at the same time, maybe don't throw your phone. I honestly adore her, though. She's very exuberant and much more easygoing than me. Like, we have a trio, me, this friend, and the friend I mentioned in a previous video who hates stripes. I'm the anxiety-ridden nerd who doesn't know how to cope with her emotions. Then there's the crazy one who doesn't stress herself out about anything and is always partying. And lastly, there's the one who hates stripes, and she's hard to describe. She's very level-headed, something neither I nor phone thrower are, and she does not enjoy emotions. She's kind of a mix of me and phone thrower in a way in that me and stripes hater are both very good at school and just generally stay out of trouble, and phone thrower and stripes hater are both really good at voicing their opinions. But again, back to the house, we're actually nearly done with the furnishings, and if there is one thing I absolutely hate about this house, it's the lack of a living room. I knew I wanted to give the grandmother in this house a hobby room for knitting and painting and poker, but I didn't realize exactly how much space that would take up until I tried to do the living room. I mean, it isn't that bad. I managed to fit one full-length couch as well as a rocking chair, so that's 4 seats, only one less than my self-imposed rule, but the spacing is just a little odd. But the rest of the house I can honestly say I adore. Like, usually when I build 2 things in one day, because that's what I did, towards the end I kind of lose the ability to furnish, but that didn't happen here. I mean, perhaps a little in the craft room, but it's not bad, just a little hodgepodge. But we are coming up on the screenshots. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you all tomorrow.